Hello and welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real with Najeh Wilkins. Have so much to discuss today. First off, we're going to be bringing on Milton Girls Lacrosse Coach Tim Godby. We're going to talk about their great program. They've won 15 out of the 18 total lacrosse championships. They've been having a phenomenal run. I think they've won 6 straight. So we're going to get into it with him and talk about that great program, how he's been able to have been so successful with that team year in and year out. And then after that, we're going to actually get into some more football news, what's going around in the football world, and then we'll be breaking down some basketball as we enter a very crucial period prior to the state tournament. Region championships are going on right now and the rest of the weekend. So I'll talk about a couple different regions and things like that. Then I'll be highlighting a guy that I think does a phenomenal job in the industry, Bacon Network, constantly at big games, getting great content, videos, interviews. So I'll be giving definitely him a shout out. Okay, sorry y'all, the audio went out. Forgive me. Sorry about that. But yes, just talking about the intro to the show. Obviously, I think Woodward Academy. I'm going to reveal in a video that I did earlier this week. I think they're a team to watch for in 6A. They have a lot of talent. I was able to talk to the Woodward Academy coach actually today, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about that interview I had with him, and then a little bit about the team and the video I did earlier this week. And then obviously we'll conclude with a tell of the tape that I'm going to do on a player that's out of the Wella. His name is Tyler Moore. Had a phenomenal junior season. He's going to be a rising senior. I'm going to talk about that in the show today. Then we'll conclude with top 10 headlines. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it with the head coach for Milton Girls Lacrosse team.
Hello.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Appreciate you coming on today.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. So, Coach, I see you've been coaching lacrosse for a very long time. Just what have you enjoyed most about the journey and being at Milton and being able to coach a great group of girls?
Well, I guess, one of the things that attracted me to the job was just an opportunity to be a part of a community. I had been teaching in the area at the middle school across the street from Milton Northwestern Middle School, and I was actually coaching basketball at Dunwoody High School, and just wasn't really involved in the community. And then this opportunity came along, and I looked at it as a way to be a part of the community, and that's what has been great for me. And we were able to build something. Right from the jump and establish a great culture. And it's just been great to be a part of that year after year.
Yes, sir. And then I read a couple articles on you, and you said, one in the quote, you said preparation, and you said hard work is very important. That's what's kind of allowed this great run and sustained success for your group. So just talk to me, Coach. What do you do from a preparation perspective to allow your girls to be so successful? Walk me through how it is being at lacrosse practice, conditioning, and things like that, and how this group is able to do it every year.
Yeah, just in the short term, it's like I just got finished working on practice plans for the day. It's like what do we need to work on, and all the phases of our game based on our recent performances in our games. What are some things we need to continue to do to get better? I have some great assistant coaches as well that always contribute. We all work together well, and then for the long run, it's just like what's coming up next year. What do we have to do to be not only ready for this year, but think ahead? What can we do for next year? And I'm pretty heavily involved with our youth program and our middle school program to try to help continue to build talent down the road, so we have players continue to feed into our program. I've been coaching our middle school team this is my third year, so I basically do back-to-back practices. After the high school, I do middle school because mainly my daughter's playing in the middle school. So but I've always had a hand in it and working closely with that, just trying to, help build for the future. So we have players coming up down the road.
Yes, sir. And is it true that you coach or you still coach for ITG Next Georgia? Is that true?
No, I
No.
don't coach
No.
with that program.
Okay, I thought I'd seen something like that. Okay. So I watched some of the film from last season, Coach. Just your girls playing, and from what I've seen, Coach, they're very athletic, and it seems like they're having a lot of fun. Whenever they play lacrosse, just are you a players coach where you kind of just you have a leader, a couple leaders, and you allow them to kind of be the front run of the team, or is it more so you allow them to do their thing, or do you kind of hold the realms and you just communicate them with a very effective level?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think our program is run by the players, but it's something that has been established. Things have been established since we first started, which is like basically focus. We're here. We're business. We want to focus on winning, and that attitude has trickled down, and the players have just taken it. They've just taken it over year to year. They do things to get everybody ready. Mainly our seniors. We've always had great senior leadership as far as getting the girls ready for practice. This is what we got to do to work and be ready for the game, and always just talking and working together and building team camaraderie. So I always like to say I've gone soft. I joke around saying I've gotten soft. I'm older, but it's really more because the players have,
Right.
they know what to do now. And it's less of my leadership as far as getting them ready and all the things. But they know when that, when it's time to go, or if I start to look upset, they'll get it together real quick. So it's kind of gone well that way.
Got you. Well, I want to be honest with you, Coach. I am new to lacrosse, so walk me through how is the conditioning for lacrosse? What are some things your girls have to do to prepare prior to the season? Do you have them to play multiple sports? Do you have them train earlier in December and things like that prior to the season start? And what are some things you do to get your girls prepared for the season?
Yeah,
From conditioning.
one of the things you mentioned earlier, I forgot to touch on, was that we do have some great athletes that play the sport. It requires the highest level of athleticism. We play on a full size field, full size football field, full size soccer field. So obviously, the more speed and agility a girl has, the more ground they can cover and perform better. So we do things in the off season to help develop that. So we normally do. We have cross training 2 days a week, starting in the fall, like in September. So we do that, and it's basically strength training with some cardio elements in that. And then aside from that, the girls do stuff on their own. Like we have such a competitive program that the girls know they need to be working on their skills and working on their games in the off season. So most everybody plays travel lacrosse, so they're doing tournaments in the summer. A lot of our girls want to play in college, and we've been able to put a lot of girls and help them get to some of the top programs in the country in college. So they're constantly working on their game. They're going to camps. They're doing extra sessions on their own for speed and agility. Even in the fall season, they're playing some tournaments. We do have some girls that play multi-sports as well. We have, a few girls that play flag football, and that's great for them because they do a lot of speed and agility, and it's a lot of running, a lot of some crossover elements with that. We have some girls that play volleyball. We have basketball players.
Gotcha, Coach. And speaking of being competitive, Coach, do you have your girls play kind of a national schedule? Just, being that you are one of the top premier programs in Georgia, do you have them play a couple teams outside of the state, whether that's in tournaments or just a regular schedule playing, a top tier team, let's say in, Tennessee or wherever in the country? Do you have them do that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something we started doing in my second year of coaching. We started doing, some neighboring states, like we would travel down to Florida, or maybe a team from Tennessee or North Carolina, or they would come here to play us. And then, we felt like our game was starting to improve, so we started going to the Northeast, where the majority of the better teams are. So we've been going up to the Northeast every year. We usually go to the D.C. area and play a few teams from Maryland, Northern Virginia area. And we usually have some teams that would come to us, like from the Northeast. We haven't had that really since COVID, but we still have a couple of teams from some of the southern states. So this fall we're playing, or this season we're playing, like IMG is coming to play us. They've been coming up the past 3 years, and we'll play another team or two from from Florida or North Carolina, Tennessee, one of the southern states. When we have an event every season called the Legacy Cup, and a handful of teams come in to play for that, and then we always take one trip out of state as well.
Nice. And Coach, tell me about this season. Tell me a little bit about your team. Let's first start with who were the returning starters for your group this year, and then who were some of the newcomers that you're expecting to kind of step up and take on that role and help out the team.
Yeah, we have this year. We're fortunate to have a lot of returning players. Last season, it was we had one returning starter for the whole year. So it was a lot of teaching from the ground up kind of thing early in the season, and it was kind of a rebuilding year. And this year I think we returned 9 starters. So some of our top players from last season obviously are back. Maeve Simons is a senior midfielder who's committed to Ohio State. She was an All-American last season. And we also have Emily Simpkin. We actually returned our whole starting midfield, all 3 girls. Maeve Simons, Emma Claire Mills, who's the senior committed to Presbyterian, and sophomore Ella Polly. In our attack, we are returning we're returning three starters on the attack side. So led by Emily Simpkin, who's senior committed to James Madison. Anna Mellinger, a sophomore in the state championship last year. She had 4 goals and 3 assists. And senior Emma Heenan, a senior committed to Arizona State. And freshman, we're actually starting a freshman on attack this season as well as last season, Kylie Waters, so she can add another dynamic element for us with her ability to get past people and score. And our defense and our goalie is pretty solid. We returned, all but 2 starters on that end. We have 2 senior starters, Maddie Eiler, who's committed to Rhode Island, and Eddie Driver, as well as our returning goalie is Gabby, who's a sophomore and started for us last season.
Gotcha, Coach. And, just kind of tell me, without revealing too much, Coach, just what are some of the strategies you employ? Let's say your team's in a rut a little bit. You got to get something going offensively. You're trailing by a few points. What are some things you implement offensively to kind of, get your girls going or just kind of get the offense going?
Yeah, just kind of see what's the defense giving us. Let the girls, we rely on them as well. What are you guys seeing on the field? What can we do here? What kind of adjustments do we need to make? Is there a mismatch on the field? Can we take advantage of a hole in the defense? Kind of things like that. But the key is we got to get possession of the ball when it's late in the game and we need to score. So we just got to focus on stepping it up and make sure we get possession on draws and just be smart with it. Make sure we're being productive when we do get the possession.
Got you. And then, Coach, I recently saw that you won Coach of the Year. So how exciting was that? How did you feel getting that reward and that honor of being Coach of the Year?
Yeah, it was awesome. Something I've never, never really thought about, wasn't really a goal of mine to do anything like that. My goal was always just let's win a championship, because, the coach of the year wouldn't mean as much as, if we end up losing. But it's obviously a great accomplishment, and credit to, the players who are always performing well and buying into the things that we're teaching and we're trying to do, and a great coaching staff and support from the parents. So everybody plays a role in that, and just glad to be a part of the organization and the program I have.
Yes, sir. You certainly do a good job. And, there's been some changes this year in lacrosse, Coach. It's no longer, I think it was 1A through 5A. It's 1A through 4A now, 5A through 6A. And standalone now is 7A, which is the classification you're in. So how do you feel about that, Coach? Do you think it'll affect your girls at all? And just any comments towards just the reclassification this year?
Yeah, I think last year it was 6 and 7A or 5 and 7. I can't remember, but I think everybody who is now not in 7A is kind of glad that I think they're thinking they got a shot to win this season. But the 7A is still going to be tough, because we play some of the teams that we played in the championship recently still are in 7A, which we played Walton several times in the state finals. And we got Mill Creek in our area, who we played in the state finals in 2019. West Forsyth, who we played in the state finals in 2021. And then, some other good programs would be Hillgrove, and up and coming is Paulding County. And I'm probably forgetting somebody, but, we still got some of the top teams who have been in the state finals that we got to compete with. And we're also playing the top opponents, the top teams in 6A, who will be able to compete. So, hopefully we can get the wins against those teams in regular season, so we can claim, that we're the true overall champions again.
Yes, sir. All right, Coach, two more questions. I'll let you go. One, just what would you tell somebody, specifically me, that's getting into the sport of lacrosse, learning it at the same time, and then just, the ins and outs? What would you tell somebody like that, watching it? What are the best parts of it? What is something I should keep an eye on? Just things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I had no lacrosse background or experience when I started coaching. I was all basketball all my life, and it's very similar to basketball. How you do, things you do offensively and defensively, fast break, pressing, and stuff like that. And it's just, it's a really athletic, fast-paced game. It's high scoring, so it's entertaining to watch. And for someone who's not used to it, I would encourage you to come out and watch some games, watch some teams who have some competition, some competitive game, and you'll see some entertaining stuff. And it's really growing nationally too, especially in the college level. High schools are all over the country are adding lacrosse, but it's really growing at the college level too. A few years ago, it would be rare to see a women's D1 game on TV, and now you can see almost everything with ESPN Plus and ACC Network and stuff like that. So I can turn on the TV on Saturday and Sunday, and I got former players playing, all the time, which is great. Hoping that, it would add, teams would continue to add, like especially in the South and the SEC. Once the SEC schools start adding lacrosse for women's, that it's really going to make a huge impact and continue to grow the game. Most of the ACC schools have it now. Clemson just had their first home game this past weekend. If you're able to watch that on TV, they had a great atmosphere. They're putting a lot of money into their program, building new facilities, and hopefully it'll just continue to grow in the South, and we get some more Southeastern Conference teams: Georgia, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee. Let's go. Let's add this sport and help it grow and add some more opportunities for females.
Yeah, well, you certainly got me pumped. I'm definitely going to start watching more of it now. Probably going to try to go to a couple games this season as well. Definitely on the women's side and the girls' side, and check it out. And obviously, hopefully, it continues to grow, Coach.
Great. Thanks a lot,
Yes,
man. I
sir.
appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Well, have a good one, Coach, and we'll chat soon. And good luck this season.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So that was Coach Tim Godby for Milton. Getting a great program. They've won 15 of the last 18 lacrosse championships. Doesn't get much better than that. So definitely want to feature their program. They're doing some great things. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank our sponsor, Georgia Farm Bureau.
Our mission has always been to support Georgia farmers. That's why we created Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, providing financial protection that farmers needed. While this remains the same today, we've grown to protect all Georgians through home, auto, and life insurance. From the very beginning and into the future, we stand for every Georgia community.
We are our Farm Bureau.
All right, guys. So that was the first segment of the show, talking to Milton Girls Lacrosse Coach Tim Godby. So let's keep it going. We got a lot more to get into in the show today. Let's go ahead and talk some football. I'm going to be looking at and reacting to Mill Creek football schedule this season. They're going to have their first scrimmage versus Grayson, August 10th. Week 1, they're going to play versus North Gwinnett in our Cookie Cale Classic. Make sure you get your tickets for that. That will be going on sale, I'm sure, here in the summer. That'll be August 19th. That's going to be a good game. North Gwinnett starts a new regime under head coach Eric Godfrey. It's going to be an interesting game to see how both they come out. How will Mill Creek look with losing a lot of their talent, not having Jamal Anderson, not having a #1 rated player in the state of Georgia, and MVP at the All-American game in Caleb Downs. Not having Hayden Clark anymore. How much will Cam Robinson be featured in the offense next year? He was a big proponent of it this year. Will they continue to lean on him to build their passing game and their passing attack? They're not going to have their senior leadership at the receiver position. They're not going to have Mikael Wood. They're not going to have Brendan Jenkins. So they did bring over transfer King Joseph Edwards. But just how will that team look going into next season? And it's the same thing for North Gwinnett. How will they look? How will Ryan Hall look? And I believe his junior year, Julian Waters will be a senior. How will they look next year? So that's going to be interesting. Then week 2, they're going to play Norcross. Last year, this game was on ESPN. I don't think it will be this year. We'll see. But they'll play Norcross August 25th. Week 3, they're going to play Archer. That's going to be September 1st. That will also be a home game. So actually what stands out to me on the schedule so far, they're going to have 3 technically home games to start the season. So can't get much better than that. Then they're going to have a bye week, September 8th, and then they will get another rematch they had last year in their homecoming game. Will be September 15th versus Cedar Grove. So that's going to be a really good game. Seeing how Cedar Grove bounces back from, as everybody knows, that blatant call. So that'll be a good game. I mean, I think that'll be some must-see TV. Then you have Parkview. They play September 22nd. They're going to be at Parkview again. New program. Who's going to be their head coach? How will that team look this season? So many studs all over that group. Jalen Crawford, Mike Matthews, a top prospect according to 247 Sports. I think he's like number 3 in. It might be number 3 in the country. I think he's like number 1 in the state. I mean, they got a whole bunch of talent. How will they look going next season? Then week 7, they're going to play Central Gwinnett. That is going to be September 29th, a road game for them. Then they're going to get another bye week. That's going to be October 6th. Then they're going to open up, get a nice rematch with Buford on October 13th. This will be a home game instead of a road game. Again, the same thing with Buford. How would they look after being upsetted in the second round to Walton last year? How would they look coming out this season? That's going to probably be a big region game. Who's going to, win the region title? That's probably going to have some major implications, that game will. Then you got week 10, Collins Hill. That's going to be October 20th. Again, another good game. How will Collins Hill look under their new regime? That's going to be a road game for them. Then they're going to play Decula on the road October 27th, and they're going to wrap up the season on November 3rd against Mountain View at home. So just wanted to talk about their schedule, look at it, talk about some of the teams they're going to play, and it'll be interesting to see how they look next year, losing some of the senior talent that they had. But I think should be a good year for them. I can't wait to see how it turns out. I think when they play North Gwinnett in the Corker Classic, that's going to tell me a lot about Mill Creek and if they're going to be another title contender. I think we'll see. But that's all I got for the schedule. Let's go ahead and analyze some film. We're going to roll the tape for Tyler Moore. He plays for Luella. His Twitter handle is _D1 Tyler. Go check him out. As a sophomore, he had 64 tackles, 10.5 sacks, and 25 tackles for loss his junior season, which was his past season. He was number 2 in the state in sacks according to Max Preps with 16 sacks. He had 79 tackles, 49 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, 6 forced fumbles, and 1 touchdown. So without further ado, let's look at his tape. All right, so here, right in the middle of the defense, explodes through, boom, hits the quarterback. All right, here again, in the interior again, he's a defensive tackle. Boom, look at that explosion in that hit. Oh, my goodness. Not playing no games there. All right, here again, in the middle. Boom. Gets off the block, makes the big hit. Ain't going nowhere. All right, here again. Gonna get off the block here. Boom. Stuff up the run. You're done. All right, here again. I like this play as well. He's going to spot the tackle. Boom. Tackles the running back in the backfield. Just exploding off the ball. Here again. Boom. Going to force a turnover on this one. Knocks the ball out. That's one of his 6 forced fumbles on the season. All right, here again. He's going to land on the other side. And then boom. Explodes. Here again. Boom. Secures the middle of the field. Forces the tackle. Boom. You ain't going nowhere. Once he gets your hands on you, you're done. You're done. All right, here again. Gonna spot off. Boom. Gets the quarterback, runs him down, forces another fumble. All right, here again. Boom. Already in the backfield, using his hands. He has great hands, great footwork, I think. Boom. Off the ball, exploding off it, and hitting him right in the backfield again. All right, here again, you're going to see him come. Watch. 1, 2. Boom. Off, and I'm going to get your ball carrier every time. Just loading up the backfield. All right, here again. Boom. Stuffs him. You going nowhere. Just a force in the interior. I mean, all day. Once he gets his hands on you, you're not getting away from him. I mean, he's tackling elusive backs every single time. Again, off the block, boom, right in the backfield, not allowing you to get any positive yardage every single time. All right, here again, right in the middle, boom, gobbles them up. So, I mean, you know, they didn't have the best season. They were 1-9, but, I mean, he was just an interior force all year long for them. I believe, according to some, he might be a 3 or a 4-star, but, I mean, if you want just a game changer on the defensive side of the ball that just gets ball carries, hits quarterbacks, forced fumbles, this guy does that every time. And he has a quick 1-2 step, gets the hands off of him, and then he's hitting your ball carrier every single time. Here again, boom, here he comes. Whoop, spot off the line, bum. Got your ball carrier, you're not getting end zone. This play I like, he nearly forces a safety here. I mean, he's just going to spot off the line. And then he's going to hit the quarterback, read the read option very well, didn't get confused there, didn't get lost, knew where the ball was, and exploded. Here, he's going to chase down, I believe, a screen play. And look at the awareness that he has here to see that, okay, yeah, this is a screenplay. I see how it's lined up. I'm going to go chase down the running back. So, I mean, you want to talk about some impressive tape, Tyler Moore definitely has it. I mean, been doing it all on his tape. And what I like, too, that's not mentioned or really seen in this film, he can play different sides. Here he just gets a good PBU, but what's not said in this film, you can line him up in different spots on the defense. I've seen some of them he was rushing as a defensive end. He was rushing as a nose tackle. He's rushing as a defensive tackle. So you could line him up really anywhere on the defensive line, and he's going to make an impact. He's going to make a play, and he's going to make a difference for his team. So that is his tape. Go check him out, D_D1 Tyler on Twitter, excuse me. He has a great film. He is highly rated, so it's definitely a player that's really, really good. So, I mean, again, just wanted to give him some highlights. I'm going to be bringing this to my show more often now. Just highlighting players' tape. A lot of times for the players, from what I've noticed and doing football, is that they'll post their film on Huddle. Obviously it helps. Some players get noticed more easily. But from what I've seen, not a lot of players, not a lot of, I guess you could say, analysts or people that are in the game, in the sport, talking about football or whatever sport it may be, they aren't really analyzing film. So, I just try to bring a different element to it. And I think every Thursday going forward, that's just be one of the components that I'm going to add to my show. Just, analyzing some different tape from players. So I already did a Twitter post. You guys definitely go check me out. On Twitter, I'm at Najeh Wilk. So any players that want their film analyzed or want me to break down their film, I definitely would love to do so every Thursday for you guys. Definitely don't mind. I did Kyle Vaco, receiver for Johns Creek, last week. This week is defensive lineman, defensive tackle, Tyler Moore. So y'all go check out their Twitter handles. That will be all linked below after the show is over. So I hope you guys enjoyed that segment. All right, now let's talk about some basketball. A lot to talk about here. Norcross boys, they captured another region title. They defeated Peachtree Ridge, who was looking really good. They did get a home win against them early in the season, 58-55, but Norcross handled their business, won 71-48. They host another region title in that illustrious history that Norcross has, just continuing to play a great brand of basketball. And then in other news, in DeKalb, Druid Hills Red Devils and the Southwest DeKalb Panthers, they claimed 4A state playoff berths this past week. They both joined 14 other DeKalb County basketball teams with playoff berths. They face each other in the region semifinals tomorrow at Miller Grove. So those two have punched their ticket in. Now it's just about seeding if they're going to get the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or the 4 seed. So what happened in the game? The Red Devils rallied from 37-33, fourth quarter deficits to knock off Stevenson, who was 15-11, 45-41. So that's what kind of happened there. And then for Druid Hills, Christian King cut Druid Hills league to 40-39 with offensive putback with about 2:18 remaining in the game. So that was big for them. And he helped seal the victory. And then for Southwood DeKalb, they beat Stone Mountain 71-42. They were up. They went on a 40-22 run to halftime. And they ended up with a 71-42 win. So, again, another big victory for them. Big steals from Xavier and Taylor in that one and Clemens. And they really helped them build a big run. They had a great start to the second quarter, a 10-2 run to open up the lead against Southwest DeKalb. They ended up being up 27-10 with about 5:15 left in the first half. So that allowed them to explode. And then they went on another 15-2 run with the final 5:09 of the third quarter to take ultimate control going into the fourth quarter with a 59-31 lead. So that's what kind of stands out there. Then you had Hattville beat Stevenson 49-38. And then a 22-year playoff streak ended for Stevenson. This is on the girls' side at Hattville Charter. So disappointing for them after they've been consistently in the state tournament. This year they won't be in. A rough season for them, 12-13 this season. And then Hattville is 14-9. So definitely a big loss there for them. It's definitely going to be tough going forward. But teams are ready in the playoffs on the girls' side. You got Arabia Mountain, Cedar Grove, Chamblee, Columbia, Lakeside, Lithonia, Southwest DeKalb. On the boys' side, you have Cedar Grove, Chamblee, Columbia, Druid Hills, Lithonia, Miller Grove, Redan, Southwest DeKalb, and Tucker. So just a quick thing looking at the schedule as far as Friday. So it's a major matchup. This is going to be the semifinals that are going to be, again, at Miller Grove, Southwest DeKalb versus Westminster. That's going to be a kickoff at 4 p.m. Miller Grove is going to play Holly Innocence at 5:30 p.m. And then for the girls, Hattville is going to play Holly Innocence at 7 p.m. And then Druid Hills on the boys' side is going to play Southwest DeKalb at 8:30 p.m. But then you have consolation and finals at Arabia Mountain. It's going to be Lithonia girls. They're going to play Chamblee at 4 p.m. Chamblee is going to play Lithonia boys. That's going to be at 5:30 p.m. Decatur is going to play Arabia Mountain at 7 p.m. That's the girls' side. And then the boys are going to play Tucker. Tucker's going to play Decatur at 8:30 p.m. And then more consolation and finals at Columbia. It's going to be Elsa versus Callaway at 4 p.m. Callaway is going to play Landmark at 5:30 p.m. And then Landmark girls side is going to play Columbia at 7, and Redan is going to play Columbia at 8:30 p.m. So a lot of news there. As far as basketball, definitely tune in. This is pretty much the wrap up of the region tournaments this weekend. For the most part, this is going to solidify the standings, and it's going to solidify who gets the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds going into the state tournament. So obviously next week with state tournament kicking off, I'll probably be reacting to round 1, maybe even round 2. And just who I think my sleepers are and who I think is going to come out and win it all in each classification. So that's what I got on top for you guys next week. Far as just basketball, definitely tune into that. But I'm gonna take a quick break. See you guys on the other side. Highlight Bacon Network and his content, and then probably wrap up the show not too long after that with my top 10 headlines for the weekend. So we'll see you guys in just a second after a quick break. To thank our sponsor, Georgia Farm Bureau.
Our mission has always been to support Georgia farmers. That's why we created Georgia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, providing financial protection that farmers needed. While this remains the same today, we've grown to protect all Georgians through home, auto, and life insurance. From the very beginning and into the future, we stand for every Georgia community.
We are our Farm Bureau.
All right, guys, back from break. All right, so now we're going to highlight my boy, Bacon Network. Again, if you're not subscribed to his content, definitely go do it. He is up next, I think. He does a great job. He does practically every sport. He does football. He's been in some of our coverage with Georgia Elite Classic. He's done Corky Kell stuff and been at those events. He's been, just everywhere, man. He's been at major games this season at East Coweta and Carrollton. He's been at the state championship games. He's been at major tournaments. One was Oak Hill versus McEachern. That content is up. So y'all go check him out, Bacon Network, his website, and his YouTube channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and pull that up and show some of the content he's been doing over the past season.
Okay.
My sister, she's accomplished many great things that no man has ever walked this earth to do. So I'm just proud of her, and like I said in the beginning, I appreciate y'all coming and show love.
All right, guys. So again, go check out his content. He had a lot of good stuff. I didn't play the audio from that one thing because it had music. I didn't want to get copyrighted, so I didn't play that audio that you saw from the Crystal Henderson and Scoot Henderson kind of thing. But again, he was there for that great event. Crystal getting honored while still being a player. Again, that's such a phenomenal honor to still be playing at a school and to be get your jersey retired. I mean, that's incredible. Scoot Henderson is going to be probably one of the top prospects. I think he's probably going to go number 2 in the upcoming NBA draft in June. So, I mean, just an incredible event. He was there. He covered that. The other two, I think it was Norcross and McEachern when they played in that tournament. And then a couple other he was following a couple players. So, again, I mean, I think he does a great job. So, I mean, go check out his content. Definitely want to give him a shout out. He's doing a great job. Now, let's talk about Woodward Academy. I'm going to play a video in a second and then react. But again, I told you guys, this is another one of my headlines, just a little sneak, a little preview. I think they're going to be the team to beat in 6A. Nobody's talking about it. Obviously, it's Langston Hughes. That's probably who it's going to be. But the talent that Woodward Academy has, and to think about it, the coach put it really in a great perspective, right? He told me we beat a really good Lee County team. They came in off the bus with 120 kids. We had 58. If that doesn't tell you what he's doing with that program and how great they are and what they're trying to do, I mean, they're up next. And it really what's crazy is just from amount of kids that go to that school, they're really a 3A program, but they're all the way up to 6A. So it just goes to show you what they're doing. And he's been coaching for such a long time. The coach has for over 30-plus years, 3 decades. He's coached on the college level. He's coached on the NFL level. He's coached for the Commanders. So he has a plethora of experience. But, I mean, they got guys that have to play both sides of the ball. They have guys that play multiple positions. So, I mean, just to see what that program is, and I think they're going to be an interesting team. I mean, don't forget, last year when they played Langston Hughes, they had a lead. And they were up, I think, 21-7 at one point. They did end up losing. I think it was tied at halftime, 21-21. But to be able to put, I thought all year long, you can make the argument or say maybe it was Gainesville. But I think all year long there was only one of few of the teams that really challenged Langston Hughes, just far as offensively, defensively, and things like that. So let's go ahead and roll a video I did. It was a TikTok. I just talked about their players. Again, they have 4 players, according to 24/7 Sports, that are in the top 50 in the state of Georgia in the position. So I talked about that and all the talent they have, and a player that's been really blowing up who is Ben Grice, who also plays lacrosse. So let's go ahead and roll that video.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think today, man, we got to talk about high school edition. This is about Woodward Academy. High school team made it all the way to the semis. They lost to Langston Hughes, 56-28. But I want to talk about this team going into next season. Nobody's really talking about them, but I think they need to be talked about today. So they have 4 top 50 recruits in the state of Georgia, just as far as you look at the Georgia rankings on 247sports.com. So first one is Miles Graham, 6'1", linebacker. He's a 4-star. He is number 2 in his position. I think number 30 nationally, number 7 in the state. That is huge. That's just one player. We have 4-star linebacker Andrew Hines, who has a bunch of offers, some from Duke, Tennessee, Virginia Tech. He's going to be in the linebacking core along with Miles Graham. I mean, that's a tandem to watch out for next season in the 2024 class. I mean, their linebacking core could be very well elite going into next season. Okay, now let's talk about their back end. I mean, you got C.J. Hurd, who's committed to Florida State. He's also a 4-star. I mean, the secondary is elite as well. So he's a 4-star player. I think number 42 in the state of Georgia, according to 247 Sports. Man. And then last but not least, their interior lineman is committed to Duke. He just committed, 3-star, 6'3", about 290 pounds on the interior offensive line. He's number 50 in the state. So, I mean, they got a lot of dudes that are really good and are really high ranked. Obviously, it has to translate towards the field. But, I mean, just looking at this, you got to think, okay, Woodward Academy may very well be a dark horse candidate, or they could be a contender out there in 6A to contend with Langston Hughes. Last player I want to mention is Ben Grice. He's been blowing up as well in the recruiting world. He's received a Wake Forest offer. He also plays lacrosse for Woodward Academy. I'm just going to go talk about a couple of his offers. This is one Wake Forest. The next is Ole Miss. I mean, this is a phenomenal school. This is SEC. You got an ACC school with Wake Forest, now SEC with Ole Miss. He also picked up an offer from Missouri. I mean, another great offer Ben Grice picked up, just blowing up in his profile. And the last major offer I saw was Cincinnati. He's got way more offers than this. He's picked up Coastal Carolina recently, but I thought this was another major offer from Cincinnati. And then for Ben Grice, really quick before I talk about this game, he is an athlete for them. He does punt returns and things like that. So I mean, it seems like they have a lot of talent that's been blowing up this offseason, just far as people picking up major offers. For one is Ben Grice. Go to his Twitter handle, check him out. And then the other three players I mentioned as well. So I want to talk about this game real quick. They played Langston Hughes. If you look, this game was tied at halftime, 21-21. Langston Hughes did pull away in the second half, 14 points unanswered in the third quarter, and then they put up 21 in the fourth. So I still think Woodward Academy is a team to beat, team to look out for next season. They played Langston Hughes very tough in that first half. They couldn't keep it together for the second half, but look out for them next season, possibly as a contender in 6A. Probably not on a lot of people's radars, but they have a lot of superior talent and a lot of dudes that are just like that and are him. So I just wanted to do this video and let y'all know Woodward Academy is on the rise.
All right, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Again, I drop new content every single week. I do pretty much, all sports for the most part. I focus more so on football, basketball, soccer, and things like that. But, I highlight pretty much everything. And again, it was a team I wanted to highlight. A team I kept seeing blow up on Twitter. Just Ben Grice this past season. Seeing Andrew Hines pick up more and more offers, picking up CJ Stroud picking up major offers, over I think 25 plus offers. So that was just a team I wanted to highlight. So y'all make sure y'all go check out my TikTok. I'm gonna have Craig actually put it up on the screen here soon, and also Score Atlanta's in just a second. We're gonna be doing great content, guys. So I mean, y'all stay tuned. We are a platform, and I don't think we say it enough. Obviously, we're known for our sports marketing. Obviously, we're known for working with the Falcons and Atlanta United. But again, nobody thinks about the other side of the things we do. We are also a content creation platform as well. We do a bunch of things, guys. It's not talked about enough. I see Craig pretty much always typing on his computer, always writing till his hand goes numb. This is a guy, also just mention Craig really quick. He is somebody that puts in the work day in, day out, writing articles, put them on AJC, put them on Score Atlanta, doing rankings. So y'all definitely go to scoreatl.com and see all the content we do. We do so much content, and we're going to have way more content coming out. And Craig's show next year is going to be epic. I mean, he's going to be having his top 10 segment. He's going to have his game of the week segment coming on his show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, guys, tune in. We're going to have so much great content that you can check out. As far as the high school landscape, we got so many major things in the work. Corky Hill Classic next year, Great Atlanta Bash, Sheriff's Cup, 7-on-7s. We're going to have so much great content. We're going to be a platform that's going to continue to grow, and grow. So y'all definitely go check us out, man. We got a lot of content on the way and coming up. Y'all check us out. But real quick, I'm going to bring on one more quick guest in just a second. Jordan, he wanted to talk about some region tournaments. So we're going to bring him into the show, talk a little bit about that. And then obviously I'm going to conclude the show with my top 10 headlines. But I just want to show you guys so you guys can subscribe. 2 QR codes. I'm going to show first it's going to be Score Atlanta, and then it's going to be my own. Definitely go check these out. Again, thank you, Craig. Great job with the producing and putting it all out there. I know it's a lot of stuff to do all at once. I think I didn't master the system where I can put a whole bunch of different things on there. So, again, we're going to have great content. Those are the QR codes for all of our content. Again, I will have new videos every week. So, you check me out on my TikTok, on my Twitter handle, at Najeh Woke. TikTok at Najeh Woke. I will have new content every week. And we also, Score Atlanta, are going to have new content with our episodes every single week, every single day, Monday through Friday. We are live streaming. Check out all of our shows, all of our great content. And just to mention our show from Tuesday, Underrated and Overlooked Podcast, we had Chip Correa, who is a former Braves announcer, play-by-play commentator. He's going to St. Louis. If you guys didn't know, we had him on the show to talk baseball. He talked about major teams to watch out for next year. That interview and all the content from Tuesday is up on our YouTube channel. We're live streaming the show right now on YouTube as well, so definitely go check that out. And I don't know if you know this, Craig, Brandon Gaudin, who does that Madden, he is the new Braves play-by-play commentator. Yes, so definitely check that out. But all right, y'all, let's see if we can bring on Jordan real quick for a quick segment talking about some basketball and some hoops and region tournaments.
What's up, Najee?
What's going on, Jordan? How you doing?
I'm good. I just got up here to West Forsyth. Going to be covering their region tournament today. West Forsyth is playing Denmark. and the 4 p.m. cap the girls game. It's a tough region. It's a really good region, and tonight South Forsyth is playing in the championship game tonight.
Nice. And who you think is going to win, Jordan?
I got West Forsyth winning this game, the girls' game tonight on the girls' side. In the guys' game, West Forsyth is playing Milton. Milton has an incredible varsity boys basketball team. I got West winning both of the games for girls and guys.
Nice. And then Jordan, we were talking this past week. You were telling me about a player. You said she plays soccer. She's on the U.S. I think women's 16U team. Tell me a little bit about her and what she's been performing.
I just learned about her on Saturday when I came out to the region tournament up here at West Forsyth. I heard the AD would tell me about her. I'm going to try to get some more information tonight about her and see if we can get her to come on and talk about how she went through the tryout and how she made the team. So as soon as I get that, I'll bring that information to you.
Sounds good. And Jordan, reveal to our audience, just tell us a little bit about what's your role. I mean, Jordan, you've been doing a lot of things. You go to the College Football Hall of Fame. You've been at the media days. You go to state championships. You go to region tournaments. You do a little bit of everything, man. So tell the audience a little bit, like, what's your day-to-day look like, and what are some things that you do on a daily?
I help out with the scoreboard on Friday nights during football season. I help get content for the shows as well, for Craig and Najeh shows.
Got you. And then, Jordan, what are you most looking forward to as far as the state tournament goes? As far as just on the girls or basketball side, just tell us some, sleepers, some contenders. Just tell us the kind of in and outs of who you think is going to be making a major difference coming up in basketball.
I think South Forsyth could win the whole state tournament this year on the girls' side. But on the guys' side, I got to say Wheeler. Wheeler has a great team. I think they can pull it off this year in the state championship.
For sure. Yeah, I think Isaiah Collier is the number one player in the country. He's certainly very impressive. He's a great game to him. I mean, 3-level scorer, plays defense, can hit the deep three. I mean, that guy, I think, is NBA ready right now.
I agree with you. Another thing, one of the players on the girls' team for West Forsyth, she scored over 1,000 points this season for West Forsyth varsity girls.
Really?
So I'm going to see if we can get her to come on the show. She's one of the top athletes for the girls' team.
Sounds like a plan, man. And before I let you go, Jordan, is anything else you wanted to outline before I let you go?
There's some great games going to be going on today and tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get a bunch of content, send them your way. That way we can get them out on all of our social media platforms.
Sounds like a plan, man. I appreciate you. Looking forward to working with you with some of the content and getting all up on the social handles. People love content. So thanks again, Jordan, for all you do, and we appreciate it. And thanks again. This is the mastermind behind getting us former Braves announcer Chip Correa on our show this past Tuesday. So definitely go look up Jordan and some of the content he's been doing.
Thank you. You guys have a great afternoon.
You too. We'll see you next time. All right, y'all. So that's Jordan. Is the guy that gets our context for our shows for the most part. He helps us land some of these major people. I don't know how he does it, but he does. And, he continues to get some of the best guests that we have on our shows. So, again, I told you guys this before. We're growing platform. We're continuing to grow, and we got some big things ahead, man. So y'all stay tapped and y'all stay tuned. But let's go ahead and conclude the show. Man, my favorite segment of everything is my top 10, Najeh's top 10 headlines going into the weekend. As you guys all know, this is Friday Eve. Lot of news going into the weekend. So, again, I've already outlined it. I said it in my TikTok video, but number one is how good will Woodward Academy be next season? That is a storyline now. I'm telling you guys. 6A, a lot of studs on their team. They had a great chance of beating Langston Hughes early in that first half. They got dinged and banged up, and then, Langston Hughes just went on that big run and just silenced it. But, again, they have 4 recruits in the top 50 in Georgia on 247 Sports. I mentioned this earlier. Miles Graham, Florida commit. Linebacker Andrew Hines, he's uncommitted but has offers from Missouri, Illinois, Nebraska. Safety C.J. Hurd, Florida State commit, plays both sides of the ball. Again, you mentioned it before too, Craig, with kind of Caleb Downs being kind of that gadget player, using him on offense. He was used towards the end of the season. I found out today as a running back because all four of their running backs went down. That is incredible. Remember, he is their starting safety. He's been starting since he's been a true freshman. Phenomenal player. Florida State commit. And then they got interior offensive lineman Bradley Smith, Duke commit. So, I mean, they got a bunch of studs on that team. I didn't even mention Josiah Abdullah. I didn't mention Ben Grice, who's racked up probably at least 10 offers in the offseason. I didn't mention Jerome Bettis Jr. I mean, that team is absolutely loaded. I didn't mention London Merritt. So, can they put it all together next season? Can they make some noise, which they kind of already did? They made the semifinals last year. But can they go and contend for a state title? Certainly will be tough. But, again, a team to keep an eye on. And, as you guys all know, you can come back to this episode on YouTube. And when you see Woodward Academy balling and you see them making noise next year, you can come back to this and say, well, Najee did bring it up. And I did. So, stay tuned for that. That is one of the top headlines going into the weekend. Number 2 is going to be wide receiver Peyton Zachary. He picked up an Indiana offer this past week. He's just racking them up. He's picked up Louisville offers and many, many more. A great stud for them, freshman receiver. Craig was kind of surprised of how great he was performing at Georgia League Classic, but I knew when I seen him in person when I was a rookie here and I had just got hired and doing content on the sidelines, when he mossed the guy, it's incredible. I wish I still had the film. I don't. But he mossed the guy, freshman, 5'8", just went over top, got the touchdown, and mossed a Cherokee Bluff defender. When I seen that play, I knew, yeah, this kid's special. So, again, he's continuing to do it. I think he's going to have a great sophomore campaign, and look out. Now, this is going to surprise you. This stat is ridiculous. Athlete KJ Bolden was clocked running a 22.3 miles per hour on a screenplay. This was analyzed by Real Analytics. Go to their Twitter handle. Real is REEL Analytics. Go support their page. I didn't want to show the highlight because I didn't know how that would be with copyright and stuff like that. But it's a screenplay. Go look at the play. It's incredible. They revealed it on Monday. He takes it and then he just turns on the gear and he's absolutely gone. It's just absolutely incredible. I haven't seen that like that on a high school level. And I mean, I think next year Buford has to use him in more situations and scenarios. You got to. I mean, he's too dynamic of an athlete. Again, I don't know how their offense is going to look. They're not going to have Justice Haynes anymore. They're not going to have Dylan Wicke, who's committed to Virginia Tech. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think a strong component of their offense has to be KJ Bolden. Without a doubt, it has to be. So that's number 3 for me. Number 4, wrestling championships are this weekend. Stay locked. Keep it locked on scoreatl.com for all the information. Craig Sager will be basically putting all the news and all the highlights and, you know, what's going on with that on scoreatl.com. Stay tuned for that. All the info will be on there and on ajc.com, so stay tuned for that. Then number 5, congrats to J.R. Leonard. He joined the 1,000-point club. I think it was Tuesday night in Riverwoods Region Tournament. He is now joins Junior Karis Bilal in the Raider record books. He's among their top 10 all-time leading scorers. So shout out to J.R. Leonard passing the 1,000-point club a couple nights ago in Riverwoods Region Tournament game. That is number 5. Number 6, we seen him in the state championship game. DeMello Jones, 4-star athlete from Swainsboro, received a major SEC offer from Auburn. So, again, this guy here, another year at the helm, he is a rising senior. He will be a key component of that Swainsboro offense. Look out for him next season. He has an Auburn offer and many, many more. Be curious to see where the star is going to commit to. Number 7, this was revealed by Luke Winstel. If you guys don't know, he was featured on Underrated Overlooked podcast earlier in the year. He talked about Clemson. He covers Clemson program. But he recently revealed on Rivals 250 list that Tucker Edge, C.J. Jackson, he was named a 4-star recruit on that Rivals 250 list. He was kind of unknown nationally heading into the fall. Last year, I think he was a junior, but now he's been blowing up. He has gotten offers from Clemson, Alabama, and Georgia just this fall. So, again, that's a guy to keep an eye on going into next season. He's been racking up offers and was recently named a 4-star recruit. Number 8, as we just mentioned with Jordan, region championships are going to be coming to a close very soon here and this weekend. Seeding will be solidified after the weekend going into the state tournament. Be interesting to see how it looks, who will be the top seeds. In some brackets, you don't want to be a 3 or a 4 because you're going to have to play that number 1 seed from a different region that's really good. So be interesting to see how everything pans out. I'll probably have those details on the next show, seeing how the state tournament's going to look and reacting to those and things like that. Then number 9, it's going to be Blessed Trinity. They handled their business against Lassiter and men's lacrosse or boys lacrosse. They won 15-4. Major headline, Blessed Trinity is going to be the team to beat, I think, out there in – I think it's 5A, 6A, I believe, out there in lacrosse. So that's a team to keep an eye on going into the season. They've had a great start to their year. I think they're 3-0 so far right now. And check out my lacrosse rankings that just went up Wednesday for week 1. Definitely go check those out on scoreatl.com. And number 10, to conclude the show, Adam Miller is the new head coach for Centennial High School. He comes over from Westover in Albany, Georgia. Great career there. He actually helped lead them to the first playoff berth since 2014. So I think they're getting a great coach, and Adam Miller is obviously going to take some time. Players coming in and out and things like that, graduating. It's going to be tough for them to get it started, but I think they got a great hire and a coach and a team. Hopefully, will be back contending for region titles and region championships and hopefully getting playoff berths here soon. So I think that's a great hire for the Centennial program. We'll see how long it takes for everything to mesh together. But, yeah, that is number 10. So, again, happy Friday Eve to everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy it. We got a bunch of different things going on this weekend. We got All-Star break for NBA, dunk contest skills challenge, celebrity game, All-Star game. Y'all guys definitely go check that out. That'll be fun this weekend. And then is there any other major sports events going on? I don't think right now. I know it's Super Bowl and then it's always All-Star break. Is there anything else major? Okay, I think the last major news is just spring training. Oh, actually, there is a big game Saturday. This is actually going to be, I think you should check this out too, Craig. This is going to be at 4 p.m. I seen it the other day. Keontae George in that Baylor backcourt is revered as number 1 in the country. So if you guys have nothing to do, go tune into that game on ESPN. It's going to be Baylor, Kansas. So that's going to be a top 10 matchup. Definitely go check that out. Big 12 basketball. If you have nothing to do, that'll be a lot of fun to watch. So, again, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I always enjoy coming on here on Thursdays and talking sports with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy me as much as I enjoy you guys and enjoyed the show today. And we will see you next Thursday for another episode of Keeping It Real with Najeh Wilkins. Tune in tomorrow to Craig's show, GSSA Drive for the State title. He will have on new head coach for North Gwinnett, Eric Godfrey. I think that's going to be a great show. I can't wait to hear what he says and what was kind of his reasoning for leaving Parkview and going to North Gwinnett. I think that's going to be really intriguing to see and learn more about him and the program and how excited he is going into the offseason. So we will see you guys next week and have a great weekend.